The imagery is so beautiful. Just every morning, I just fill myself.
Yeah,
Every morning, I rejuvenate and get ready for the day. That's
exactly.
so awesome.
Okay, so
So remember, I guess the framework here, our first actions of the day have the power to set the momentum for the day.
yes, exactly. So, and that's kind of the point here. It's a pillar for the day. It has the chance to fill us, rejuvenate us, and to set the tone. So, if you do not have a morning routine, I want you to think of one thing and write it down right now that you can do to begin creating a morning routine intentionally, because again, we all have morning routines, but some of them are just very chaotic. So maybe that's prayer, maybe that's meditation, maybe that's stretching, maybe it's listening to music. I know sometimes, and we're also going to talk about, how to switch this up and change it up so it works for different seasons, so it works with your hormones, like we talked about 2 or 3 sessions ago, like, how our hormones change every single week. Some mornings when I'm not feeling it and I'm like, I don't want to meditate, I don't want to pray, I don't want to do that, I just will put on some music and I'll just listen to my playlist that I have curated for myself. And I just listen to that because I need something to like pump me up and get me going and make me feel better. Because ultimately, the point of these routines is not so much about what you do, but how they make you feel. That's the point. You are trying to change your state of being. You're
Write that
trying to
down.
change it into something positive instead of something negative. So no matter how you wake up, whether you wake up on the wrong side of the bed or not, by the time you go to interact with your family, you feel better. And then no matter how the day has gone, by the time you go to bed, you feel better. That's the point of these routines. Like Greg said, write it.
Write it down. Like capture that idea, internalize it, teach it to your families. The key here is that the morning evening routines make you feel great.
Yes. So if you don't have a routine, write down at least one thing you can do. If you do have one, the key is we want to make sure they are effective, because sometimes we get into these routines and we've been doing them and we just keep doing them. You need to make sure they're still refreshing
Right.
us.
I'll talk to people and they're like, oh, yeah, I have 17 things I do every morning. I'm like, how do you feel? Terrible. I'm like, okay, we're, we're going to do three
Not
things that make you feel amazing.
Yeah. Forget the
Like,
17.
I've been doing this forever. Is it working? No. Okay, we're stopping
Yeah.
that.
So here are a few signs that you need to refresh or revamp your morning routine. One, it feels rushed. It feels rigid. It feels exhausting. Like if it feels exhausting to do your morning routine, that's a key that you shouldn't be doing those things in your morning routine.
If it feels daunting,
Yeah, or
there's
like
pressure.
if you feel like I don't want to do that, that should not be a part of your morning routine. Your morning routine needs to include things you want to do because they make you feel better. Another key is or sign is if mid-morning you still feel drained. You don't feel like you are actually filled, right? If by the time you get halfway through the morning and you're drained, then your morning routine didn't actually fill you. And then another one, of course, is because
Listen to this one.
you're doing things because you should do them rather than because they actually work for you. Now, I know, and this depends on the person. Some people, and I'll use this as an example because I think it's out, they read scriptures or spiritual things in the morning because they should, not necessarily because it actually makes them feel better. Does that make sense? So if it doesn't actually make you feel better, and you might think, well, how does that work? Well, if it's an obligation thing, that can sometimes be the side effect.
Let me give an example. As I was like, I'm going to read the Bible because I should. And then I'm like clawing my way through Leviticus. And I'm like, this is not making me feel good. And I'm like, but I got to read through it.
My morning
And
routine.
one day, finally, I was like, this is so dumb. I'm just going to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and I'll just keep reading those again and again.
Yeah.
Because they're glorious. Like, I'll just keep going through the parables for the rest of my life if I have to, because I get something magical from the words of Jesus instead of like, oh, if I read the law of Moses one more time. You with me?
So that's another.
So, and it might change day to day, where sometimes I'm geeking out about this intricate law from the Old Testament. And other days I'm like, it's not there. I got nothing. So I'll jump over to Revelations or Paul or whatever. Like, let's go.
So that's an example of a tweak. Like, if you thought, oh, I'm going to read the whole Bible or whatever your goal is, but you get partway through some draining chapter, that doesn't help your morning routine. And the point of the morning routine is to feel good. So change it up, tweak it, do something different. And if you still want to work on that goal, great. Just work on it later so that you can do things that help you feel better. So think for 1 minute about either something you can add to your morning routine or something you can tweak about your morning routine to help you feel better while you're doing it. Just take a minute, write it down. Just, one small thing that will bring more energy, that will just help you feel more alive, more excited, more refreshed.
While you're thinking of yours, I'll share one that I just did recently. I get up and I walk or run with my dogs, and I was doing it around our property, and our property is beautiful. But we live just a few minutes from the coastline, and I can run along the top of the cliffs overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm like, running's running, yeah, yeah. I'm like, no, it's not the same. And so I've been getting up, I got up a little bit earlier for drive time, throw the dogs in my truck, and go over and run along the coast. Wow. To just see the sunrise and the waves and the winds and the cliffs and the clouds and the lighting. It's like, it makes me feel so alive and so good. So it's just a little tweak I made. It's, same, but man, the one of them just gives a little extra wow factor to life. So that one's been really great for me lately.
A tweak I have made is that I've been really digging into kind of law of attraction, manifesting stuff. And so I've added to my morning routine very intentional, specific gratitude practices, because of course that's one of the keys to manifesting is gratitude. And so that is something I've just added into my routine to make it a regular practice and a regular pillar of my day.
And few things can change your state more than gratitude. Amazing. So if you find yourself struggling to get into a good state, start with gratitude.
Yeah.